Welcome to Talking Junk. Welcome to Talking Junk. Welcome to Talking Junk. Welcome to Talking Junk.
Welcome to Talking Junk. I'm your host, Jason. Today we got a special guest for you junkers. I know you're looking like it's kind of unusual we're here on Tuesday, but you know what? When you get a high-profile interview, you cater to whatever time they're able. And this is a busy man. We're lucky to have him on the show. So why don't you guys give me the biggest, warmest welcome for our guest, Mr. Lio Rush.
What's going on?
How you doing tonight, brother?
How you doing? Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thank you for taking the time out your busy schedule to be here with us today.
Definitely, of course. I know we had a little setback the other day, but I'm glad we were, able to make this happen.
How you feeling?
Good. It wasn't feeling all that great yesterday, but I'm good now.
All right, good. That's what's most important. So before we get started, let the world know a little bit about yourself for those who might not know who you are.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Lio Rush. I'm 26 years old. I've been a professional wrestler for the past 6 years now. WWE for the past 3. Recently got released due to the pandemic with budget cuts and all that stuff, and quickly made my way to MTV for the Challenge season 36. And yeah.
So you spoke a little bit about that on a few other podcasts and a couple of other places about your hard time you had a little bit on the Challenge. You described it as kind of similar to you being in a group home when you were younger. And I believe I heard on another cast you signified that to hardship in your family at an early age. Am I kind of?
No, yeah. You're right.
Your mom and dad, they're together still, correct?
Yeah. My parents are happily married, still together, going strong.
24, 25 years?
I think a little more.
A little
more. So it's good.
Oh, yep, there they are, nominated for 3 Whammy Awards.
Yeah, that was recently. I know in the past that they were nominated for Stellar Awards back in the past, which is a pretty big deal. So they're still making music. They're still being those super active parents like they've always been. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's good. I love it. Now I know a lot of people were kind of confused. Myself probably being one of them. You being under the circumstance of having to fall into a group home with your family and hardship, and some people see that your parents are still together. Now a lot of people don't get that people have strife and trials and tribulations through marriage, so ultimately ending up back together was the best thing for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's every that's every family. And if it's not every family, it's a lot of married couples that have been together for so long. You're gonna go through things. You're not gonna be perfect, your entire life. And with my family, we have had plenty of ups and downs and had to figure out our ways out of them or ways to get through them so we can, come back together and just be a stronger family than we once were. So I feel like it's a pretty normal thing, but I know, it's not always that case in families.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, how long were you guys in that situation where you had to stay in a group home?
It wasn't, that long. I think just the overall experience, to get to that point is traumatizing enough, no matter how long the time spent there was. But it lasted for a decent amount of my teenage years, and I quickly found my way out of that situation. So I'm glad that I did.
Now you're also a married man. How long you been married?
So I've been married for almost 2 years now.
From almost.
I had to look at my wife to make sure I got that one right.
Trust me, I know the feeling. My wife just walked out too. We've been married a little longer, but you guys been together for
yeah.
So how long have you been together, or did you marry right off the bat?
It was pretty fast. I feel like I knew, as soon as I met her, and we were together for 3, 4, 5 months before I asked her to marry me. So it hasn't been, that long.
See, thank you, sir, because now I feel normal, because me and my wife were together only 6 months before we got married.
Yeah. Sometimes
we've been together 13 years now.
Yeah.
You got 2 beautiful children. One on the way?
Yep. Boy number 3.
Boy number 3.
Yeah.
Well, trio tag teams are a thing now, so
I don't know. I just had a conversation with my wife about that. I don't know if she wants all 3 of them to go into wrestling. So we'll see.
Well, what about you, sir? You've had quite the wrestling career in a short 5, 6 years.
Yep.
So you made the rise from CZW, but before that it was 36 promotions, I think you said in an interview, correct?
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy number that first year that I started wrestling, just because I was so hungry and determined to just kind of get my name out there. So everywhere that had an open spot, I didn't care if it was a bigger promotion, a smaller promotion. I was just trying to get on the road and get my name out there and try to make a little bit of money. And I was all over the place that first year.
And you were heavily with the Velveteen Dream during all of this.
For a short amount of time before he got pulled by WWE to do Tough Enough, we were a tag team for a couple of months, but it definitely wasn't over a year, because I think that's when he got that call.
Okay. Now I should have did my my internet homework, but I know you put out a yes, AEW, please give this man a shot. But we'll get there. Now I lost my train of thought because they got me all excited for you going to AEW. But which is that's not happening. It's just a fantasy. I'm not trying to get you in trouble with anybody. So where were we? CZW. You faced a lot of people that are big names now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see the amount of people that I wrestled with back on the indies who are all signed to a major promotion. So yeah, it's cool.
Who were some of your favorite matches leading up to CZW and during?
Well, people that are kind of at the bigger promotions now, or it could just be anybody?
Could just be anybody.
Well, I mean, a lot of the people that I did wrestle back then are signed somewhere now. So I'd say guys like Shane Strickland, who's Isaiah Swerve Scott in NXT, MJF, who's in AEW, Joey Janela, who obviously people know he's in AEW. Being able to work with Ray Phoenix a couple of times was pretty cool. So a bunch of I see Ricochet at PWG. So yeah, a lot of cool names that I've been able to wrestle.
Then it wasn't too long after that you made your way to ROH.
Yeah.
And a lot of people people get their name in ROH and then move on to bigger and better things, yourself included.
Yeah, Ring of Honor was somewhere that I saw, like you said, guys going there to make a bigger name for themselves, and then eventually, go off to sign with a bigger company, whether that was, WWE, or at the time I know Lucha Underground was around, and Impact and stuff like that. So yeah, I felt like that was the perfect place for me to go. At the time, when I was a part of Ring of Honor, the roster was stacked. I think Ring of Honor, at that time, around 2016, had the best roster out of every promotion. So I felt like it was a good fit for me.
So people like who's now known as Seth Rollins, formerly Tyler Black. You had Samoa Joe there during your time, correct? Or was he already gone?
Yeah, I think he just left. He literally just left. I think it was the pay-per-view before I came, Supercard of Honor in Dallas, when I wrestled Jay Lethal. But yeah, I mean, even the pool of talent that was there right before I got there, like you said, like Seth Rollins and Austin Aries. I know he's not really doing too much right now, but yeah, when I was there, like you said, he had the Bucks. The Young Bucks was there. Adam Cole, Red Dragon,
Punishment Martinez.
Punishment, yeah. So
which was a pretty good match. I seen that match earlier today. Somebody said, let me see some of Leo's stuff. I said, prepare to have your mind blown.
Somebody told me the other day that match is the highest viewed match on Ring of Honor's YouTube, like ever.
Well, it's the easiest match to find of yours. I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay.
But you was only there for 2 years before you went to NXT and 205 Live.
Yep, I was there for a little under 2 years, and then I went back on the Indies for a little bit to tour overseas. And by the time I got back, I got that call from WWE.
Now, where through all of this did you meet your wife?
So I met my wife the last indie match that I had, and it was right before I was about to make that move to Orlando. So yeah, it was pretty crazy how we met. Definitely wasn't expecting to meet a wife on my last day on the indies. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is it something you would like to tell the story about?
I mean, maybe for another day. It's a pretty long story, but yeah, that's her right there. I know a lot of people like this picture. It's been getting pulled up everywhere, but yeah, it's pretty cool how we met and how we stuck together all this time.
Yeah, so she got down right before the big schedule, which it could have been pretty tough. It could have been detrimental to a relationship just starting off. Yeah,
for sure. She literally lived that that same schedule that I had since day one, from NXT all the way till now. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's perfect. And I heard somewhere she does most of your tattoos.
She did a few. She did a few of my tattoos. She's a tattoo artist, not as active, obviously with the pregnancy and stuff like that. But yeah, she does tattoos.
But she is active in making incense and candles.
Yes, super active with doing that. They smell incredible. I don't know if you've ever purchased some yourself or know of anybody who purchased.
No, but I plan to.
Yeah, you should. I actually have a few of some that she made right here. So yeah, she's pretty crazy making it. I know I wouldn't be able to make incense by hand. So,
but cool. She does more than just that. She has sage packages also.
Yeah, she has different scents and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So it's safe to say she's into the whole holistic lifestyle.
I would say so.
She got you into being a vegan. You've been a vegan for what? Going on 3 years now because of her?
Yeah, like 3 years. 3 years.
How does that feel?
It's good. I mean, I definitely like it than eating, red meat. I know that's a pretty, sensitive subject and topic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think my Puerto Rican ass could go without some
Yeah.
ribs or some fried chicken or something, man. So what do you normally eat more of? Is it greens? Is it tofu? Do you do more of the protein shakes?
I mean, it's a mixture of everything, honestly. And nowadays they have so much meat substitutes in grocery stores and stuff like that. It's not always just making a salad from scratch or whatever people are confused about with veganism and stuff like that. There's so many different options when it comes to being vegan now. So I'm still sometimes I miss burgers. They have like those meat substitutes where you can make a vegan burger, and you can make certain things out of that same stuff where it's just soy or tofu or beans is made out of something that's not meat.
So still good protein though, the beans.
Yeah.
Now you definitely packed on the weight and you look really lean. So it must be doing you really well, and you haven't lost a beat at all. You're still the fastest thing in the industry right now.
Yeah, I it's crazy because I can't really see it, but when people, ever since I got back, on the indies, I started seeing guys that, I haven't seen in 3-4 years. And when they look at me, they're like, "Oh man, you look good." And I'm like, "Really? I think I look the same like 4 years ago." But I mean, I guess I have, changed, in a physical way, I guess, compared to before. So it must be doing something.
It must be doing something in a lot of different areas also, because as far as I'm concerned, from media appearances, you've been doing a lot of podcasts and stuff from MTV, The Challenge. You've grown a lot mentally also.
Yeah, I mean, I think, a big part of that is, just aging too, being, 19 when I first started wrestling, and just, becoming more of a man, I guess, and finding myself. And yeah, I think that has, a lot to do with it, maturing in that way. But
Kids.
Yeah, kids. I don't know if being vegan helped with that. I think that's just me.
Well, it definitely helped to clear the mind.
Oh, that's a new one. All right. Yeah. Probably.
Especially the whole incense, the candles. It's more than just a vegan lifestyle. It's your whole surroundings. It's been more of a calming type of space for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And you definitely want to be a better role model for your sons.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Trust me, I know. I got 3 girls in the other room.
Oh man, yeah, that sounds like you have your hands full.
Oh, I have hands that I don't own, and they're full.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now on the indies? I know you had your dreams come true and you participated in the Super J Cup recently.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. New Japan Pro Wrestling, somewhere that I've always wanted to go since I started wrestling. I'm supposed to be making my New Japan Strong debut this week with me, TJP, and Fred Ross versus Bullet Club. I'm also going to be wrestling for GCW's Fight Forever show, which is going to be a 24-hour program, which is insane. That can be viewed on Fight TV and YouTube for free. I'm going to be wrestling Blake Christian, so that's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, tremendous. I got a lot of cool things going on the indies right now.
Now, I got to throw this out really fast, just because. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on there. All right. We'll chalk that up to a technical error. But I know one of your dream places to go is to New Japan. But now AEW is making waves too. Now, if hypothetically speaking, if both companies came to you around the same time, would you have a preference?
No, I mean, I think it ultimately comes down to what makes sense for, me and my family, with my career, and what makes sense financially. I have a family to think about now, and not just myself. It was a little bit of a different situation when, I was on the indies before, because, I only had one son and I wasn't married, and, I was, still a kid. So it just has to make sense for me and my family at the end of the day.
And that's what ultimately kind of frustrated you while towards the end of your WWE run, if I'm not mistaken. You were, if I did my homework correctly, you were still under an NXT contract for a little while. And you were expected to make Raw shows, 205 live shows, which meant you had to travel to SmackDown, and you also had to make still some NXT appearances, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I had to do NXT road shows, not the TV tapings, but I did have to, still travel with the loop on the, they called them the coconut loop shows, which was a bit much. I mean, I love wrestling, but when it gets to that point where, physically exhausting my body and my brain mentally, and I'm not getting paid, for it, it like I said, it just didn't make sense. And but yeah, I was on that for a little bit of time before it, eventually got switched over.
And when you got switched over, you were primarily known for your wrestling skill, not so much the promo, until you were paired with Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
and I loved when you were with him. By the way, some of the best mic material I've heard in a long time.
Appreciate that.
But how did it feel being paired with the big man after all of that?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I like Bobby as a person. I liked, the role that we were in. I felt like we were doing some good work on social media with our, promos and, little skits and stuff that we were doing on there. So, I mean, I overall enjoyed, working with Bobby. It's a shame that, it ended when it did, but, I think it just helped me and all, because, like you said, I wasn't really a promo guy, before I got.
Well, you wasn't known as a promo guy, but I think it's been in you.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't get signed to WWE because, I could, cut a promo. I think it ultimately, came down to, my in-ring ability, but I think it just helped me grow as a performer, having that role on Raw.
Now, it helped you grow in many other ways too, because you ultimately came out with 2 rap albums after that.
Oh yeah. When I was away from WWE for that time period, I was able to work on some stuff that I've always wanted to work on, and that led to me, doing music. So, if that didn't happen, I probably wouldn't be making music today, because I would have never had that time to explore, that side of me. So.
Well, there are kudos to you, because there are a lot of people that talk a good game, but when it comes down to actually performing, they kind of fall flat. But you, my friend, you didn't fall flat. You have pretty good material. Well, more than pretty good. I'm nobody to judge your work in any way, but to the untrained ear, top-notch singles.
Appreciate that.
In Candlelights and Stone Cold.
Oh, nice. Yeah. A lot of people like the new record with Jay and Joseph, some buddies of mine from the Challenge. So I'm glad that turned out the way that it did, because that was a single that I didn't even know was happening until the day that it was happening. So I'm glad that it turned out good.
Well, where can we find your music? Because there's not too much of it on YouTube.
Yeah. All of my music, it's on, different streaming platforms. To make it easier, you can just head on over to musicbylio.com, and then you can find all of my music, all of the links to my Spotify, my, Amazon Music account, my, Apple and iTunes, SoundCloud. So, musicbylio.com.
And where can we find your wrestling shirts? Are you on Pro Wrestling Tees, or do you have your own site?
Yeah. So, I mean, all of my, I do have a Pro Wrestling Tees store, but I also have still the same website, musicbylio.com. You can head on over to the store tab that's being shown right here. Click on that. We got some pretty cool stuff on there. We've got some Slam Buddies up there. We've got pop sockets for the phones.
You gotta update the hair, man.
Oh, that's gonna be one of 4 series. So I'm actually gonna have four different sets of the Slam Buddies. Up there is the one with my mohawk. When I first got signed to NXT, we're gonna have a manager version of me. We're gonna have the Blackheart version of me, and then we're gonna have the current version of me with this hairstyle right here and the orange moth gear. So
now I gotta ask if you would be, if you sign to New Japan, hypothetically speaking, in the future, would you be willing to add a Bullet Club shirt to that collection? Because I can definitely see you heading up that crew now that Switchblade is gone. They need somebody like you.
Yeah, I mean, when Bullet Club was, steaming hot, back then when they had, AJ and Kenny and the Bucks and Doc and Gallows and everybody. I had my my little dreams of being in the Bullet Club one day, but now, seeing, so many people run through that crew now is, I don't know. I feel like I need to, stay by myself.
I can see that. But it has launched a lot of careers. It's launched, not that you need it, because you are very capable of standing on your own. But I think as a heel, you are 100 times better. And one of the biggest heel factions today, especially in Japan, is the Bullet Club.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's no doubt about it that, they're the most, I guess at this point, one of the more prestigious, stables that have ever been through New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, yeah.
Now, would you ever go back to WWE?
I don't want to say, that whole saying of never say never. I think, again, it just comes down to what makes the most sense for my family, and that comes with so many different things. So, I'm just gonna, never say never.
Yeah, I know. That's your dream job, because most wrestlers, it's their dream job to be at the pinnacle. But a lot of people don't understand the pressure it comes with getting your dream job, or backstage politics, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I am glad to see that you're on your own. You look way happier than when you were in WWE. Your family looks amazing. Your mom, you have a really, really close relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
The TikToks you guys put out are amazing.
Yeah, she's the I think at this point, she's the one who kind of initiates all of those videos. She ever since she's discovered, social media, I feel like it's been nonstop, making content for her. So those are always pretty fun.
Now it looks like you also have diamond in the rough, so to speak, in a good relationship between your wife and your mother.
Yeah, no, my wife and my mom are pretty cool, pretty close, I would say. I don't know how other people's in-laws relationship is like, but I'm pretty thankful that, you know, my wife and my mom get together pretty well.
Well, that's good, because you know the whole cliche, wife and mother-in-law bicker. You know the whole
Yeah,
little
yeah,
sick.
exactly. That sounds like a nightmare.
It does. It does sound like a nightmare. Um, how's your relationship nowadays with your dad? I see a couple of pictures with you guys here and there, and you guys look like you're best of friends.
Yeah, me and my dad, we're cool. We've always been close, you know, no matter, you know, what we might have gone through in the past. Me and my dad have always been pretty close. But he's more focused on, you know, he's running his own business, and he's doing his own thing. So he's not as active on social media as my mom is with all of the fun and creative videos. I try to get him in there every once in a while, you know, when he's not too busy. But yeah, my relationship with my dad is pretty good.
And what does he do? Does he run a ministry?
So he runs a gospel and sports radio station. Yeah, it's called WBGR Sports Network. It's grown, you know, so big since when he first started it. You know, I remember, you know, and I always joke about this with him, but I remember when he first started it, and it was, you know, downstairs in our basement, and now he's got this huge building with different offices and different studios, and he's pretty much, you know, running the DMV area when it comes to sports coverage and high school and college sports and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see.
And it seems like just a natural fit to take on sports. You were a big sports guy even when you were younger.
Yeah, huge, you know, sports kid, you know, ever since I was 5. And I literally haven't taken a break since. Every year I've been active in, you know, different sports.
Now, what was your favorite growing up? Now, I know you said you took amateur wrestling just to get into the business, but could you label that as your favorite, or did you more enjoy football or basketball?
I think, you know, I had favorites at different points in my life. You know, I was pretty active with baseball. I was more active with baseball than I was in any other sport. But I think, you know, playing it since I was 5 and then up into 16, like 15, 16 years old, you know, that's a lot of wear and tear on your shoulder and your elbow and stuff like that. So I think my body just kind of gave out from playing baseball. So I wanted to, you know, venture into something different. And, you know, luckily I already had that love for professional wrestling, and, you know, being an amateur wrestler was pretty cool. I think it was just also a different feeling of, you know, although like I'm on a team, it's an individual sport, because you can, you know, place and rank in the states and in the nation and stuff like that as an individual with wrestling.
And as a professional wrestler, you've held a couple of championships yourself. Let me see. I have a list here just to name a few. CZW World Heavyweight Champion, CZW Wired Championship twice, Ironman Heavy Metalweight Champion in DDT Pro Wrestling. You had the House of Glory Crown Jewel Championship, the MCW Rage Championship. You also held the tag team championships there with Velveteen. It's pretty cool. You held the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup. You ranked 99 this year out of the top 500 wrestlers in the world on PWG 500. That must feel very good.
You know, I mean, I don't really know. I don't, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't pay attention to those lists just because I'm curious as to, you know, how they rank stuff or whatever the case may be. I don't know what really qualifies somebody to be number 1 or top 50 or, you know, other than just like an opinion of somebody. But
I definitely think you should be higher, but to be in the first 100 still has to feel really good.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely, you know, shows me that I've been working hard enough to earn somebody's, you know, respect or attention. So, I mean, I'm clearly, you know, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something good
But it's almost who gives a fuck moment, like with the Meltzer stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about that. If I feel like I have a good match and if people enjoy it, what's the difference between 4.5 and a 5-star? Like, I don't know where it's coming from. It's not like we're scoring points or anything, so I don't really get it.
Yeah.
But, it's still cool. It's still cool.
Anybody can make their own point system.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Steve on YouTube wants to know, did you do any kind of martial arts? And if you did, what kind?
No, I did not. I just wrestled in high school, and that was pretty much it. I might have taken a karate class when I was younger, but nothing too nothing too serious.
Who's got the best frog splash in the business besides you?
Currently, I think maybe Montez.
Now, I'm glad you brought up Montez because we were having this discussion just the other day, and I feel like Montez does have a great frog splash, but your form is a lot better. And I know you're an Eddie Guerrero fan, and it made me believe that you did a little bit more digging in your frog splash and got it from who he described as the best frog splash in Art Bar.
Yeah, you know what? I think it might be because I remember seeing something where Eddie, said that he really, fucked up his knee one time on a frog splash, and that's because he was kind of not hitting it all the way. Like, I noticed that Montez his feet kind of touch the floor before his stomach does. So I know that it kind of sucks more for the other person taking the frog splash, but I like to just like go all in and make sure that I'm actually hitting the splash.
And it definitely brings for a better aesthetic, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do have something here that I want to touch on real quick. And it's a list. A list you put out, sort of similar to what Cody Rhodes did when he left. And it's a pretty stacked list. But I do see a lot of AEW guys on here.
Yeah.
Now, is it because you worked with them in the past and you want to work with them on a different level? Or, well, I know some of them you haven't worked with, like Cody and Chris Jericho, which would be tremendous matches. But I would think you would have met Jungle Boy somewhere in the Indies.
Yeah. So, funny thing, I was actually supposed to wrestle Jungle Boy on a 205 live show. He was there, he was ready to go, and something ended up happening where I think he was described as he looked too good to be an extra. So they ended up, swapping him last minute and ended up giving me somebody else for the night. But yeah, I actually met Jungle Boy one time, and we were supposed to wrestle in WWE, but it didn't end up happening.
Now, how do you pass on Jack Perry?
Yeah. I mean, I was super excited for it. I was definitely ready for it, but a lot like other things, in WWE was out of my control.
Yeah, to say the least. Somebody that's surprising here was, where was he? It wasn't Kenta. It was somebody from New Japan. Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah,
that would make for a very hard-hitting match.
Yeah, I like his style. I think he's super unorthodox, and I miss seeing wrestlers that kind of like look older. Like, I miss seeing Ric Flair like in the ring. Like, it was always cool to me to see like an old guy like beating up somebody. But I think it would be pretty cool to be in the ring with him. I think it'll be a really good match.
I think you would have a good match with a lot of people there, like Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
But I really think you and Okada would be a great match.
Yeah, I think it's so weird because I've been in the same building as Okada a few different times, um, but I always felt like it was still two different worlds. When I saw him before, when we were doing those Ring of Honor and New Japan joint shows, and the New Japan guys would come over to the States. I always thought that he was, definitely a top tier, talent in the pool of wrestlers. He was one of those guys who was, getting those number one spots for the PWI top 500. So, I've always wanted to wrestle Okada.
All right, couple of questions for you because I know you're a very busy man and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Mount Rushmore of wrestling for you.
I gotta put Stone Cold in there. Feel like I have to put The Rock.
Which you have shades of.
I definitely think there's some influence there when it comes to the charisma with the promos and everything like that. So I can see that. I feel like I need to put either Ray or Jeff Hardy in there somewhere. There's got to be a high flyer that has kind of changed the game for the guys today. But maybe I'll put Ray. And then I think Shawn Michaels. What do I need? One more?
No, I think you should be okay there unless you got another one.
Maybe Kurt Angle.
Kurt?
Yeah.
Besides New Japan, dream promotion to retire.
I'm not really sure. I mean, to retire somewhere is a pretty, big deal. And New Japan is the only other dream promotion that I have. I guess if it wouldn't be New Japan, it would be WWE. Because a lot of people, want to be, quote unquote, those WWE Hall of Famers, like they want that ring and stuff like that. So, if it wasn't New Japan to actually, retire in the ring somewhere, probably WWE.
Where would you rank in terms of which ones you would want to hold the most out of all the top promotions and their heavyweight titles?
Maybe New Japan. Definitely New Japan.
So New Japan's number one. What would you rank number two?
Probably WWE.
And your third overall?
Probably AEW.
AEW. Last plugs. Let's get everything out there that other than Lio Rush, because we all know and marvel over the person you are in the ring. But you are another person outside of the ring, and you do have other things going on. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where we can find those out-of-ring activities that you got going on?
I've been pretty, active on my social media lately, more specifically Instagram, kind of showing a more in-depth look at my music career. I know, when I was in WWE, I would post about, a song here and there and some stuff that I was doing on the side. But, I kind of want people to see the entire process of me, making the music and me like writing and just letting people see that there's another side of me than just being a wrestler. I'm always posting about my family and my wife and my dogs on there. So I feel like Instagram is definitely the best way to kind of see that other side of me that isn't just wrestling.
Let's clear the air really fast for all the dirtbags out there. What can we expect to find on your OnlyFans page?
I guess you're gonna have to find out when you pay that $30. That's about it.
Where can we find your wife's incense candles, sage burners?
Yeah, you can find those on my website too. You can find those in musicbylio.com. She also has her own Etsy store. You can find that obviously on Etsy.com / Oh My Goodness by Sarah, and you can follow the Instagram page, which is also Oh My Goodness by Sarah. And yeah, I believe those are the 3 links you can choose from to buy these incense.
Where can we find Mama Green's TikTok page so we can make her TikTok famous?
Yeah, you can follow her at I believe it is Mrs. Sing Me a Song, if I am thinking correctly. Yeah, I believe it's Mrs. Sing Me a Song. You can find her on TikTok.
One more time for your dad's radio station.
WBGR, I believe it's WBGR.com or it's WBGRsportsnetwork.com. Yeah, but yeah, you can find that. I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy to look up. There's nowhere else called, WBGR. So
now, China, if you could real fast, could you also pull up his mom and dad's Wham website? Because if I'm not mistaken, they're still taking in votes.
yeah.
So go ahead. To register is free. Get those votes in there. They're nominated for 3 Whams. Help them bring home all 3 of those Whams.
Yeah.
And my friend, Mr. Green, where can we find all of your stuff? And what else can we look forward to in the ring in the upcoming months?
Yeah.
From the man of the hour.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty active on my Instagram. That I would say that's my most active social media account. So if you go on there, I've got a Linktree link in my bio, and you can find literally everything that I have going on, from my music to my Cameo profile to my YouTube to everything. Everything that I'm doing can be found on that Linktree link in my Instagram bio.
And what can we look forward to in the upcoming months in ring from you?
Not too much. It's planned out right now. I'm getting ready to have my baby boy, so the focus is kind of put on that right now, and
so she's ready to pop any day now, huh?
I think so. She thinks she's got a couple more weeks, but I'm just kind of staying ready just in case. So yeah, but that GCW show this weekend, and also New Japan Strong TV is this weekend as well.
And we can always catch you defending your MLW Middleweight Championship on MLW.
Yep. Every Wednesday. Head on over to their YouTube channel. It's always being streamed for free. So yeah.
And aren't you glad you asked the question?
The podcast is coming very soon, where you can, get to know myself and Sarah just a little bit more. We're going to be on there talking about pretty much us and what we have going on. But you guys, the fans, are the ones who are asking the questions. So they're pretty much coming up with our talks of the day, which is pretty cool. We're going to be, obviously giving out shout outs to people who are, submitting those questions, and some other cool segments that we can't wait to reveal once we have the first episode.
There you have it, folks. The 26-year-old piece of gold, the man of the hour, the Black Heart, Lio Rush. Thank you, sir, for coming on. We're so honored to have you on.
Appreciate it. Yes, I appreciate being on here. Thank you guys for having me. And be safe. Be safe out there. It's crazy.
Can you just say goodnight to the Junkers one time?
Everybody watching, the Junkers, thank you for all the love, all the support. And I can't wait to see you guys, tune in this weekend for GCW Fight Forever.
And before we end this broadcast, let me let you guys know that he is on Cameo and he has a sale right now. So go pick that sale up. Go get your Valentine's Day welcomes from the man Leo Green, or maybe you want a Lio Rush one. Who knows? Thanks again, brother, for coming on. Good night, everybody.
Appreciate it. Good night.